Do you ever struggle with making clusters, or do you maybe wonder what's the purpose of them? Why do I want to make clusters? I thought today we'd do some and just play around a little bit and maybe have some tips and tricks and make them a little easier to put together. So I've got some laid out here. These are not, this one's glued together, except I haven't put the top piece on there. But these are just laid out. I used a piece of brown paper for the backing. And just, I have 3 little pieces on top of each one of them, or more. This one may have more. What you want to end up with is a cluster that has some interest to it, some variety, some different kinds of papers on there, and maybe even other things. I have some things over here and some little pieces that are accent pieces to go on top. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll just do these that I have laid out here. Let's get some glue. I have Fabri-Tac, and I have Elmer's Craft Bond Extra Strength. And I have Elmer's Craft Bond Extra Strength Glue Stick. That was hard to say. Don't know why I've said it a million times. So, I'm going to just arrange these pieces in a way that I think is pleasing. And I like to have some variety in where they're placed. I don't know. Sometimes I've struggled with making, with clusters, not knowing how to put them together or what to do with them. It's kind of like collage in a way. It's just on a smaller scale. So I think that looks kind of cute like that. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these together. And I'm just going to kind of work from the bottom up here. Just get it stuck in place. Like that. And then some glue here. And glue here. And adjust. Move that over a little bit. And then just keep adding a little glue where it needs to stick down a little better on the edges. Like that. It just depends on how much you want them glued together. They can be loose or absolutely stuck down tight. Doesn't really make a difference. I kind of don't like the way that is right there, where that's too close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off just a little bit of this edge here. Just tear it off so that it is not right even on that, and it's also ragged to match. Or not to match, just to be. Just to be on there. Now, these are not going to be anything spectacular, I don't think. They're just little pieces of paper. So we have that glued down. And we'll move to this one. And this is a piece that I think I had embossed it or did something to it, because it's kind of got a texture to it. And it's got kind of a triangular, almost a triangular shape. And this one does too. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and work with that and put that there. And, let's see. Maybe put this piece here. I think I'm going to tear off the edge of that one too. Just like the rough edges a little better. We can also ink if we want to. I've got my ink, my pink ink on this felt dauber thing I made with a thread spool. We'll just ink those edges a little bit with just what's left on there. And put it like that maybe. And this one, I think I'll put that on top like that. Whoops, it's not. I think I need to take off part of this brown back here. So I'm going to do that. Okay, let's ink this while we're at inking. You don't have to. I mean, that's just personal preference on the inking. Okay, I just think it makes it stand out a little better sometimes. Traffic's going by today. We have a beautiful day outside. Oops, that won't work. Okay. And you can also use your Fabri-Tac or whatever glue you prefer on this. I just like to do it this way because sometimes I forget where I stuck it down and can't quite get it back in the same place. And you can do it the other way where you put the glue on the back of them and put them down one by one. And that would be fine too. Okay. All right, that one's glued. And this one is kind of more tall and narrow. So I'm actually going to do this one the other way. Put the glue on here and stick this down. And then this piece. These are just scraps that I have from all kinds of projects. And I remember when I first started hearing about making clusters from your scraps or doing collage from your scraps, and they're saying, oh, you know, use up all those scrap pieces you have. And I just started doing junk journals, and I was thinking, what scraps? I don't have any scraps. But I'm here to tell you, if you do it a few months or a few years, for sure you'll have scraps. Lots of scraps. So don't lose patience. Don't give up hope. Thinking about scraps, just save your, you know, what you cut off of or tear off of the edge of a paper that's not quite the right size for what you want. You need to make it smaller. Well, just save that little piece that you cut off, or the part that's left over from something, and put them in a file folder or bag or whatever. And pretty soon you'll have lots of scraps to work with for collage or making clusters. Just lots of things. Okay, I need to not get too caught up in my inking here. Okay, I'm going to put this piece on. And it's got that pointy piece there. I don't know if I like that or not. It kind of looks like a bird. So, maybe I'll take that off a little bit, not have it look so much like a bird. And a lot of people say odd numbers are more pleasing to the eye. So if you want to use 3 pieces on that, this one has 4, but then I'm probably going to put something on top. So that number may shift a lot. I don't know. Anyway, we will see what we do here. Now, I've totally gone against what I said earlier about using the hold it down and glue from the top down process. I moved on to doing it different. But it really, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just whatever, however it feels comfortable to you to do it. And whatever is pleasing to your eye, that's what you want to make. But a lot of times, I know I feel like, well, I don't know what I like. I look at it and I think, well, it looks okay. But sometimes you need to just work with things a little bit longer doing it, and then you understand what you like better because you've done it before, and you can have some inspiration about it. This one's an up and down straight one. Everything's all kind of stacked up there together. But then I have this little piece of music, and I'm just going to put it on there at an angle. And where am I going to put it? Take the glue stick out of my hand. I think I'm going to put it like that, right there. So that one's all the same tones, which is, you know, that's useful a lot of times for various projects, particularly if your journal is mostly neutral colors. And you may have to go back and re-glue, as I'm having to do, because it just didn't stick well enough the first time. Okay, so there we have 5 little clusters made. And a cluster, I mean, it can be any shape you want it to be. This one, I don't like that piece sticking out there, so I'm going to take that off. And kind of don't like that being up that way so high, so I'm taking that off too. Okay, turn it right side. And this one, this tall one. Now, what I thought I would do is add a little something on each one of these to make it a little more special. And that can be just an accent piece, maybe a stamp or a tag, maybe that, like that. Maybe a tag on this one. I don't know. Let's see. That, to me, that blends in too much, so it needs to be a little same there. Okay, we're going to go to something else on that. Maybe it's just this little piece of fabric here. I think I'll just tear it. No, I won't tear it. I will cut it. Okay. Just something there. And then it's going to, I think it will need something else on top of that. To just add a little extra to it. Maybe a button would be cute. Like that. I like that. But that button is kind of thick, so maybe we need one that's not as thick. I'll find a button here I like. I think for that one, this looks cute. It's kind of got a lace design around the edge. I think that would look pretty with those stripes. I'm going to see if I can cut this with my scissors. I like to use large clippers to do that, but the scissors worked pretty well. I'm going to stick this all on with Fabri-Tac. I'm going to put this little piece of fabric down here. Come on. And on the back of the button. That may be sticking up too high to glue down right, but we'll see. Okay, and I think I'm going to stick this on there, like that. And these two need something. This little Tim Holtz guy is kind of cute. I might put him on there. See where he needs to stand. Kind of blends in with that. I think he does need to be over there, but I feel like he needs something behind him. And I think I'm going to put a little bit of this. This is potato bag. So I'm going to cut a little piece of that off and put behind him. Just for the texture and to kind of separate him from this, what's behind him. We'll see if that makes a difference or not. Okay. I think I like that. And what I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue here. Sure doesn't seem like it's coming out very good today. And put that down. Okay, come on. Little guy with his hat and his cane. Okay, I think that looks kind of cute. Okay, and this one, I mean, you could leave it like that. Let's see, what else have I got in here? I've got some Earl Grey tea label. I've got these are like wax seals, but it's glitter glue. Hot glue gun. Those are too big, I think. And that one's kind of small. Well, that's not working for me. Let's see how this stamp looks on there. Somehow that's not coming together for me. I also have these little pearls. Maybe that's what it means. Somewhere on it. do if I can get it stuck, not on my finger, on the paper. Right there. That's pretty plain, but I kind of like that. And if you wanted to, you could tear off the edges and make them smoother. So, then this one, I had a special idea in mind for it. Well, I was going to use this on one of them. This is embossed with a embossing folder that has birds and bird cages on it. I was going to cut out that bird cage and put it on one of them, but I don't remember which one now. So, but there's all kinds of things that you can do. You can do something like that. You can fussy cut a butterfly off of some scrapbooking paper, or use butterflies that you have, like a sticker butterfly. There's one, there's a sticker butterfly. The key, tickets and things, any of those would make a cute addition to a cluster. And in fact, I think I might use that one on this one. I think that would be kind of cute to have that stuck up there. Wish you were here, I think is what it says. The stamps. Like that. I think I like this one though. So I think I'm going to do that. I also wanted to just mention about the layers that you think about when you're putting together a cluster. You can lay out your bases or your substrate, whatever you want to call that. And that can be anything, because it's pretty much going to be covered up. And if you wanted to, you could just tear off up close to the edge of that, what you have on top. So that doesn't, it's not very important what you have on that. I don't know. I kind of like that edge. If you're going to put this on a darker colored page, that might be pretty to have that white showing there. So I think I'm going to leave that one like it is. But what I was saying about what you can use for your base, it can be anything. It could be, I have some things here that make good bases. This is brown paper. You can use that. This is some mulberry paper in a dark blue. I think that's pretty. It doesn't tear very well, so you might have to cut it out. And this is kind of flimsy, so it might be better to have it on with a backing behind it, just so that it is a little stronger. This is just some paper I have that has this, it's almost like corrugated ridge in it. That's more brown paper. This is scrapbooking paper, just a scrap I had left over. Dictionary page. It's scrapbook paper. That's dyed graph paper. This is coffee dyed school writing paper for kids to learn to write on. More coffee dye. This has spackle on it. When I was playing around with some spackle and I had some left over, and I just splotched it on there. And I think that might make an interesting tag. Not tag, we're making clusters. For heaven's sakes. I think it might make an interesting cluster. This is probably too big for just one, so I'll tear it back. I'll tear it in two and place it down. And let's see, what else do we have here? More scrapbooking paper. This is some I was trying out an ink pen on. And, I mean, that's kind of interesting, isn't it? I think that was my alcohol markers I was trying on that. Or it could have been watercolor, I don't know. This is some stamping I was doing just to test out putting a graphic kind of like a ticket thing. And then stamping a butterfly over it, or these little flowers. Or this was a pro stamp that I cut out from Fun Foam. And you could use this as your basis for a tag. Let's just try that out. Not a tag. I keep saying tag. It's clusters. Can't get my terminology right. Okay. I'm saving that. It might be useful. But not all of this stuff I'm not going to save. And let's see, what else do I have? I have some music page that has been, it's probably coffee dyed. But, you know, a little bit of that on there would be fun to have. And, I mean, basically anything that's not too thick or too thin is perfect for your substrate for that. And then there's long, skinny pieces that you can use. And you can use it, like, to go all the way down or across or behind it or something. The color's not good with that. Or you can tear it and have another piece to go on, you know, something else. And this is waxed paper that I waxed with a Crayola and candle wax. I'm going to put that one on here. Maybe right there. And this is, I was trying out a stamp on some book page. You can use that too. We like book page behind sometimes. You can make big clusters, you can make small clusters. It just depends on what you want to do. And I know a lot of times that it depends on what you want to do, or it depends on what you like. Sometimes that is confusing to me because maybe I don't know what I want to do, or maybe I don't know what I like until you've done it for a while, and then you kind of get a feel for it. So, you know, I think it's perfectly fine to copy somebody that you really admire, who makes wonderful clusters or who does certain things in a way that you really like, till you get a feel for what you like to do. And then when you gain a little knowledge and a little experience with it, then you have a better feel for what you like, and you start developing your own style. That's just my opinion on that. So, other people have other opinions, and it's all good. You just have to work your way through and get to the place where you feel confident in what you're doing. This was some stenciling I did with, I think that was acrylic paint. And that was acrylic paint too. So that might be cute to go on one of these. Just kind of half a rose. And it could be put behind, let's see, how do I want to do this? Maybe on this one. No, it's not big enough. I'm going to tear this down and put it on top of that one. I don't know if it's going to work or not because it's kind of big. I don't know, maybe it would. Maybe if I made it big. Take a piece of this brown paper that's kind of big. Cut off the pointy edges. Take that side down a little bit. I'm off the camera. I'm sorry about that. Okay. We'll have this, and we'll have some of this. And the rose. And the ticket. And I'm not going to use that piece on there. See what else I would like on there. I don't like this top edge of this. I'm going to tear that off a little bit. Okay. Like that. Yeah, it needs to show enough of the rose that you can tell what it is. In my opinion. That's what I think. I'm going to make that go down in between those leaves. So, that, like that, and then put this on here, like that, and that's kind of wide out there, so I may just tear that down, like that. And it's got that big number up there. I think that looks nice. I'm going to move it out just a tiny bit so it's more rose-like. Maybe I'll move the whole thing over that way just a bit. See, with me, it means trial and error to get it like I want it. See, I want it to have a little bit of that brown sticking out by it. And I want this to be over that. and this on there. Like that. I don't know. It's not working for me. Well, I'm going to glue it down. You know, it might look fine after I get it glued. Who knows? Sometimes you just have to go for it. And you know what? If I don't like it, it's just paper. It's just paper. It was scrap paper to begin with, for heaven's sakes. So it doesn't matter. Trial and error. I think I got sidetracked on that. I'm going to take that off. Like that. Okay. I think you get the idea. Let's do this one. Without the points. And I think different substrate on it. So let's try this. This is a piece of envelope. And there's another 100 on there. This one's what it's going to do. Okay. That there. And this little piece sticking in there. That looks weird because it looks like that is showing through there. I kind of like that little intrigue there. And let's see, what else do we want on that? Maybe just a little bit of this milk that has some color on it. Okay. I'm going to do that. Well, I was. Just let it slide. Okay. Okay. And you can position the paper like, some people like everything straight. Other people like diagonal positioning and things. But it really is up to you on how you like it to be. What do we want to put on this one? Another stamp, maybe? Or I have a music page, and I have some scrapbooking paper. It's a piece of coffee filter. Some numbers. I think variety is important on it, but also things that kind of go together. I think that's what's hard about design. It's like, it depends. That's the deal. It depends. So, you can kind of do what you want to do. Do I want a piece of this sticking out from the edge over here? Actually, I think I want it under here. And fortunately, the glue hasn't dried. Okay. See how far we want that to come out. That's one thing about layering it and just partially gluing it down. You can go back and change things on it if you want to and get glue on your fingers. And I think that coffee filter adds a little bit of interest there because the background is showing through. And I don't know about this side over here. I'll just take that down. And put a little ink on that edge. Okay, I think we've diddled around with this. I've diddled around. You haven't diddled. I think it may be time to move on. Okay, I want to put these over here. These are the ones that I put a accent piece on. A focal point. That's what it's called. I feel like this needs a focal point or something on it. But it's got so many various things on it already. It's got number. It's got a number. It's got type. It's got that stamp with the botanical on it. The rose color back there. So I don't know what it needs. Maybe it's a candidate for a tag to go there. It's not a tag. It's a label. I call clusters tags and tags labels and labels tags. Everything's a tag. You know, on this one, I think a little bit of lace behind this might make it look really pretty. And I just have this little piece right here. It's a good size, I think. Just a little bit of it. Save the bits. I think I'm going to take this edge off the top so it's not straight there. Okay. It's that way. I think what I'm going to do is put the glue on this and then position it on the lace and then glue the whole thing down. I think that is what I'm going to do. And I got a lot of glue coming out. I think I'm just going to kind of put it on there catty-cornered. Like that. And I'm not sure, I may want to just tear some more off of this edge. But for now, I'm going to leave it like that. I can always come back and add something or take something away at some other later time. So I just wanted to show you in a journal. And I have my first journal that I made. It's a gator mouth. It's this big boy right here. This one. Big gator mouth. And push these over here. This is a cluster I made a long time ago. And I just clipped it on there with a paper clip. This one, this page is blank. It could have a cluster on the side, or it could have a large cluster at the top. You could make it a tuck spot at the bottom by gluing it on 3 sides and sliding something in there behind it. This one could stick out from the edge and be a tag. A tab. I'm having trouble with my terminology today. If I did that, I would want it to be on this side. I'd want it to be on this side of the page because this is a stronger side of that. This is just paper on that side. So I would glue it where that little boy is partially sticking off the edge of the page like that. And you could put something else behind that if you wanted to. Some of this potato bag or a piece of tissue. This is pattern tissue. Just kind of in behind to add it, give it a little extra something. I'll just demonstrate that. Okay, let's see here. I just kind of like to wad it up a little bit and then straighten it out. And have it just sticking out that way, maybe. Could be in a kind of a curved area. That may not be the best place for that because of the tab there that's sticking out. But it could also be on this that has this flip out. And that would be cute. Just as a tab there for that. I'm trying to decide if I want to glue that down there or not. Oh, why not? Why not just go for it? Okay. I'm going to use Fabri-Tac because I have all these loose pieces. Okay. And I'm just going to go in here behind this and put some glue on the back part. And press it down. Kind of want that pushed in a little bit too, so. I'm sorry, I think I was off camera that whole time. and just have him like that. And I have, kind of have a lump of that tissue paper there, but that'll be okay because it will flatten out fairly easily. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay, I kind of like that. I think that's kind of cute. May not go with this side of the page, but then again. Anyway, find another page here for something. I have things on most of these pages. Some things. What I wanted to show you was this piece that we did. I think that one would make a neat tag on the edge of the page. But then I thought about making this into a hidden paper clip. What you do when you do that is you want your paper clip concealed inside. And so you fold it where you slide the paper clip onto the folded piece. It needs to be long enough to go around the paper clip. You can start with a longer piece so you can tear it off when you get to the point where you're finished with it. And just slide the paper clip on here like that. And then you can glue this all down so it doesn't move around, basically, is the reason you put a lot of glue on it. And like this. And fold that down to that. This makes it kind of thick. This paper I have is a little thicker than it probably would have to be. Let's put glue here. Like that. And press it down. And then you want to glue this to the back of your piece. And I'm going to glue it where it's as wide, almost as wide as this is, just to make it secure, and put it at the edge, about like that. So I'm going to put the glue on here. Okay, I want to get this going the right way so I don't mess up. I want it to go on the page, on this edge of the page. So this needs to go like this. And I'm just trying to get all the edges lined up where they're concealed behind there. And the advantage of having it on a paper clip like this is that you can take it off and move it to another location if you want to. Or you can use it to clip other things onto your page with it. And then it just slides on. That's too thick for there. I need a page that is just a single sheet. Okay, I'm putting it on this page. It goes with the blue at the top, doesn't it? This is the same kind of paper. It's not very stiff. It's soft paper. I don't know what you call that. But it's got a texture to it, and it's kind of, it almost feels like handmade paper. But anyway, there it is on the edge of that. Scoot this over so you can see. So that's a way of using a cluster. You can turn it into a paper clip, a hidden paper clip, and then you could stick let's see, what have I got here? Well, you could just stick any kind of little piece of paper up under there, a card like that, or maybe this is just a scrap. And you combine those and slide it in under there to hold it in place. I think that looks pretty, even if it does have a watermark there. This is a cluster I made another time. It's a piece of a Kleenex box, and the back of it's just, I never put anything on the back of it. But I added postage stamps that was on a yellow envelope, a tea bag tag, and this butterfly. And I think that turned out cute. I think it's pretty, and I like it stuck here. There we go. Like that. Just a little something there. We have these others over here. just going to show you how they looked on a page. Let's see. This would be pretty on this page with that. And this one is pink, so it would look nice over here. Or you could be across the page on the opposite side to kind of tie these two pages together. It would be pretty. This one has some yellow on it. I don't know how much yellow I have in this book. This is just a very eclectic journal. I was doing all the things. More fabric clusters that I did. That one's one too. But this could be on this. Maybe tear that down a little bit more so it fits. It's kind of busy. Could put it on that side of the page. Put a little tuck spot there too. Or put it on that. Would be pretty. So, let's see. What else do we have? We have the map and the postage stamp. Look good on there. You can put them on the edge of a pocket. Do I have pockets in here somewhere? Here's a pocket. Add it to that. That's a very skinny pocket. There's a bigger pocket. I don't like that one on there. Maybe something like this. Anyway, I think it's time for me to go. You've got a good idea of clusters here. And I hope that I was encouraging for you if you feel overwhelmed or confused by them. But maybe I made you more confused. I don't know. Hopefully not. There's so many options for making clusters, and you can do them in so many ways. And just, there are formulas for doing them that can help you. Kathleen Mallard does a great job of explaining that, how to use certain items and how to put it together. But you can also freelance it and just pick things and put them together and whatever you think looks good together. And if you don't like it, then maybe you don't like this and you decide you're going to tear that back. Or you're going to add some lace down the side or lace behind it. Or stick a ribbon on it or poke holes and tie a bow through it. So many things you can do. You can put buttons on it. You can put stamping. These faux wax seals. You can find all kinds of things to use in your junk journal, and you can challenge yourself when you find something like that. What can I do with that? It's shiny and it's bright, and I kind of like it, but what do I do? You can put a flower on it and a pearl in the middle of the flower. Or you can make it more steampunk and put a cog on it. I think it's time to go. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I appreciate you watching. And I hope that this was helpful in some way. If you think about it and want to, give me a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye.